The smoke of blaster fire hung thick in the air, an acrid perfume I had come to associate with home. I am Commander CT-7568, though my men call me Jax. Today, we were not the faceless enforcers of the Empire. We were hunters, cornered on the jungle moon of Yavin 4. Our intelligence had been faulty, our numbers dwindling. The rebels had us pinned down in a ruined temple. There are 280s chipping away at our cover, their cheers echoing through the ancient stones with every direct hit. Panic is a virus. It spreads faster than any plague, and I could see it in the tense shoulders of my squad. Trooper TK-421 was a fresh recruit, his helmet barely scuffed. He was fumbling with his power pack, his hands trembling. "Commander," he stammered, his voice tight with fear, "we are trapped. They've got every exit covered." He was right. A direct assault was suicide. We were outnumbered 3-1. But the Imperial Stormtrooper Corps doesn't breed quitters. It breeds survivors. It breeds victors. Hold your fire. I commanded, my voice amplified by my helmet's comm system, cutting through the chaos. "Everyone, save your energy packs. TK-638, get your scanner out. I want a full topographical of this ruin, now." My second-in-command, a veteran of a dozen campaigns, didn't hesitate. His scanner whirred to life, projecting a shimmering blue hologram between us. The temple was a maze of crumbling corridors and forgotten chambers. The rebels held the high ground and the main entrances. They expected us to either charge out like fools or starve. They were wrong. "They think we are predictable," I said, pointing at the hologram. "They see the armor, the E-11s, and they assume we are just drones. They expect a frontal assault here, or a desperate last stand here." My finger traced the main archways, where rebel fire was most concentrated. But they've forgotten something about this temple. It's old. Older than the Republic, older than their pathetic rebellion. And old places have secrets. My finger stopped on a section of the map deep within the ruin, an area marked as a structural dead end. It was a solid wall, according to the scanner. TK-638, magnify this section. Run a density scan. Look for anomalies, hollow spaces, anything. The trooper worked quickly, his gloved fingers flying across the controls. The image zoomed in, colors shifting. "Commander," he said, a note of surprise in his voice. "There's a discrepancy. A hollow space, about 2 meters wide, behind this wall. It seems to lead down." A smile touched my lips, hidden behind my helmet. It was an old Jedi trick, a tactic from forgotten wars. Hidden passages. "That's our exit," I declared. "The rebels are watching the doors. They're not watching the floor." I turned to my squad. The fear in their posture was gone, replaced by a focused attention. Hope is a powerful motivator. We are going to give them the fight they want, just not the way they expect it. Alpha Squad, you're with me. We are going down. Beta Squad, you're our distraction. I need you to lay down suppressive fire on the main entrance. Make them think we are preparing a breakout. But do not, I repeat, do not leave this room. Just make noise. Lots of it. The plan was simple, but its execution had to be flawless. While Beta Squad unleashed a coordinated volley of blaster fire, filling the air with the sizzle of red energy bolts and drawing the rebels' attention, my team went to work on the wall. We didn't have heavy explosives, but we had thermal detonators. It was risky. Too much power and would bring the whole temple down on our heads. Too little, and we'd just scratch the stone. I calibrated the charge myself, setting it for a low-yield, focused blast. "Clear!" I yelled. We scrambled for cover as a muffled asterisk thump asterisk echoed through the chamber, followed by the grinding sound of ancient stone. Dust billowed out, but when it cleared, a dark, narrow opening was revealed. A cool, musty air wafted up from the darkness below. It was a service tunnel, maybe for priests or maintenance droids from millennia past. It was perfect. One by one, we descended into the darkness, our helmet-mounted lamps cutting cones of light through the gloom. The tunnel was tight, forcing us to move in single file. It twisted and turned, sloping ever downward. Above us, the sounds of battle faded, replaced by the drip of water and the scuttling of unseen creatures. We were ghosts, moving beneath the battlefield. TK-638 kept his scanner active, mapping our progress. The tunnel network was extensive, a labyrinth beneath the temple. "Commander," he whispered over our private channel, "the tunnel appears to fork ahead." One path continues down, but the other, it slopes up. It surfaces about 200 meters behind the rebels' main line. The hunter was about to become the hunted. That's our target, I confirmed. Move with purpose. No sound. We advanced with the quiet professionalism of trained soldiers. The climb was steep, and the air grew warmer. Soon, we could hear the faint sounds of the battle again, but this time, they were in front of us. I peeked through a crack in the stone near the tunnel's exit. It emerged behind a thicket of gnarled, alien trees, offering perfect concealment. I could see the rebels' backs. They were all focused on the temple entrance, confident in their siege. Their commander, a cocky-looking officer with a ridiculously large mustache, was barking orders, completely oblivious to the specters rising behind him. I gave the hand signal. My squad fanned out, taking positions behind trees and fallen logs. We were a line of white phantoms in the jungle twilight. They still hadn't seen us. They were so focused on the front door they'd left their back door wide open. On my mark, I subvocalized into the comm target their command structure first. Cut off the head of the snake. I raised my E11. The settings switched to stun. The Empire wanted prisoners for interrogation, not just casualties. I centered the mustachioed officer in my sights. I took a breath, held it, and gave the order. Engage. Our volley was a silent, coordinated storm of blue stun rings. The rebel command staff collapsed without a sound. Confusion erupted. The rebels at the front line turned, their faces a mixture of shock and disbelief as they saw their leaders fall and a line of pristine white stormtroopers emerging from the jungle behind them. Their disciplined siege collapsed into chaos. They were caught in a pincer, with Beta Squad still peppering their original position and my squad now advancing on their rear. The battle was over in minutes. We didn't lose a single trooper. We rounded up the stunned and surrendered rebels, their bravado replaced with the sullen shame of defeat. As my men secured the prisoners, I walked over to the now conscious rebel commander, who was being bound by TK-421. The young trooper's hands were steady now. He met my gaze and gave a crisp nod, a silent thank you. The commander glared at me. How? We had you trapped. We had the numbers, the position. I knelt down, my helmet's voice modulator giving my voice a cold, mechanical edge. You had the numbers, but you didn't have the strategy. You saw this armor and assumed you were fighting machines. You forgot that inside each suit is a thinking soldier. You underestimated your enemy. That's a mistake that costs you more than just a battle. It costs you the war. As the shuttle descended to extract us, I looked back at the ancient temple. It stood silent, a monument to our victory. Today, we weren't just enforcers. We were tacticians. We were victors. And we reminded the galaxy that the strength of the Empire isn't just in its numbers, but in the unwavering resolve and cleverness of its soldiers. We are the storm, and we will not be contained. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story from the front lines of the Empire, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more tales of Imperial strategy, and let me know in the comments what battle you'd like to see us conquer next. Until then, stay vigilant.